Peace, 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 y'all. It's your boy ActionFiggySkinny here again with what I'm going to be doing with this Maximum series is going to be something more honest. And, you know, like obviously I'm always honest in my reviews and I'm hyped about the figures. But with things like these, at the price point that these are at, I'm not complaining. I'm not even mad at the price point. I'm just saying things at a higher price point that are considered, you know, deluxe or, you know, just really, really more with more thought put into figures. I'm going to be doing something called my really honest reviews. And I'm going to be brutally honest about things I like and I don't like just right here. No sugarcoating. There will be some cussing within the first 5 minutes, so I'm sorry, YouTube. And yeah, this is what we're going to be doing. So here today, we have the Maximum Series Spider-Man. A Spider-Man that me personally, I did not need because I have a lot of Spider-Man and I like Spider-Man a lot. And I feel like they did what they needed to do with Spider-Man with the Amazing Friends Spider-Man, and then, you know, give you variety in terms of bodies with Secret Wars, the black suit, and then before that, Renew Your Vows. I was actually really happy with the first retro carded Spider-Man. You know, it's like when Super Movable Spider-Man came out when we were kids. They had the initial Spider-Man toy that was like just a standard figure. He came with some webs, and then they came out with superposing a super movable Spider-Man. I actually still have that fig, and that was great. And they topped out there, and that's what I figured they did before. But here we have something a little bit more that I'm going to get into. I already, I like the window packaging. I like, you know, everything displayed. I see some accessories I'm going to use. I see some accessories I'm going to look at in this review and probably put down in a bin and never touch again. That's just depending on the situation. But yeah, here we go. Maximum Series Spider-Man. Let's get into it. Chill. And for those who care about that kind of thing, here we have the box Maximum Series on the front. Spider-Man, very dope. I like that. Side Spidey hanging low. The back close-up shot of the figure doing some web swinging. Head sculpt based on Todd McFarlane's look, I believe. Everyone that's been confirmed, I believe so. And the other side with him crouching. Again, I'm excited for this figure because, you know, it's this new Spider-Man figure, so I'm happy to open it. But yeah. Okay, so let's get into this box. Yeah, let's do the tagline. We about to see what's in this box. There we go. I had to do it. I'm sorry, guys. All right, let's go. Okay, after taking this thing out of the package, you know, playing with the accessories, moving them out of the box, and then getting him, like, you know, I had to, you know, the knees were, I left him in the box for quite some time, but, like, the knees were, like, a little bit stiff to bend, the abs, excuse me, ab crunch, a little bit stiff, but it got working. But after all that, yo, this guy's nice. Like, I'm not even, like, this is my MVC2 Spider-Man. And I see the company synergy there. Like, Marvel, Hasbro, you can't play with us. Like, we see what you guys are doing. Jada Toys is dropping theirs. You guys drop Maximum Spider-Man. Then you guys turn around and have basically a MVC2 lineup coming in September. And with then Maximum Hulk, like, I see y'all. And I'm quite impressed. And with this, okay, whether you want to pay the price that it is or not, I got this at GameStop. I'm an Onyx member, so I had a discount. And listen, this is alright. This is dope. I like this. Right into deco. I'm going to just go into it really honestly, because I'm probably going to kill them more for the accessories more than I'm going to kill them for the Spider-Man. They could have just put this out like this, giving me like 3 sets of hands, like, you know, the standard stuff that they do, and then I would have been good with that. You know, like the maximum thing, I guess they're trying to maximize their profit, and I get that, but then adding accessories that I'm really not going to use, and they're just going to go into like a bin or a bag. Yes, I do the ACBA. Yes, I do the pictures and stuff, but like, it's not every day, so I get it, but it also beats wishing for these things later and getting them in like a bundle pack or something that you're gonna get accessories that you don't want anyways, just to get, like, I don't know, the web shield or the web ball or something like that, which I will get into afterwards. Of course, the deco on this guy, I like the darker blue. I love the darker blue. I've always been that guy that when playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, MVC2, the game that shall not be named, basically, It's darker blue that I'm trying to rock with. So this is nice. And I know they're probably going to come out with a lighter version of this at some point. But it just looks cool. Cool. Sculpting, like, again, I'm not a fan of I'm a fan of the head sculpt. I was a fan of McFarlane's styles. The eyes were always like super wild big. But I feel like they kind of got a really good, they found a good midpoint here. You know what I mean? Like, this is dope. This is nice. And then the back, there's one little small, let me find my pointer here. I found you actually, he was on the floor. But there's one little thing of paint. But again, I'm not a paint guy. Like, all these guys are like, oh, that paint is wrong. The lines are screwed up. And what is it? Quiet. Be quiet. Like, somebody probably did this by hand. Or somebody like a laser, like, you know, printer or something. But all to say, at least you got your Spider-Man, right? Like, this is cool. Like, I'm more of a neutral pose guy too myself. So like, really, if I'm getting the fig and I'm putting him on the shelf, he's probably going to be in either something like this or something like super wildly Spider-Man like. And originally I was going to have him hanging from my ceiling, doing one of those McFarlane poses with the webs all over the place and stuff. I was going to make my own, plus like incorporate some of these that we got here. And now I'm thinking that he might just have to chill like this and like dead stare you. Like, this might be the guy. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But like, this might be the guy. So without getting into the posabilities and the articulation, I'm going to go and jump into these accessories so I can go and get like my rant off. Not rant, but, you know, just get into some things I did not like. And then put some of these on Spidey. Show him what's that about. I'm not going to do wild comparisons. Maybe I'll probably pull out like 3 or 4 of the best Spideys that I personally love and have and put them up against this guy, because there's just way too many. Some villains, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But yeah, anyways, we'll see. We're not going to spoil it for y'all. Stick around to the end. We'll see. Let's get into those accessories. Alright, so here we are. The accessories. The accessories that he comes with. And there's a lot of them. My man comes with a shit ton of accessories. A lot of which that, as I mentioned before, not really going to use that often. That often, I say. Now, we'll get into it. First up, the webs. These I like. These I particularly mess with because I thought they were like the old style ones that were just kind of stiff. Actually, you know, I'll go ahead and get one of those. Hold on. I can find one. Yes, there you go. This is like the old webs that we got, that we used to get. Thinner, they kind of malleable, but whatever. But I thought we were gonna pay mad money and pay for this little loop and hook thing, which proven actually kind of useful. But these that we got are a little more translucent in the way they look. Sorry, I'm just trying to focus. So yeah, so they're a little bit more translucent and bendy. You know, more malleable, if that's, you know, the term I'm trying to use. No hook or loop at the end, because I believe these are thick enough. This is the end point, and then that's the beginning of the webbing of which way they would be swinging. So I guess you could probably like hook these onto something or tie them, but if you wanted to get risky like that, so if I'm hanging him from a ceiling, these could be used. These are okay. I like. Next up, we have these 2 sets of hands that are shooting out webs, essentially. It's like the beginning of either a swinging shot, and then the other one is like more of like, I'm gonna throw this onto your face, and that's the end of you. So yeah, those are cool. I like that. Those are needed. Gripping hands, obviously, to hold said webs, as I mentioned before. So you're just filter it through his hand like such. And can you just pull? Because that would be like way more convenient. No, they're a little too thick for you to just pull it right through, but you can position it so he's not like letting go. A lot of weight to hold on him, but he's definitely not letting go of that. So yeah, you got two of these, left and right. That's dope. Now, the web hands, which are the exact same positioned hands, I believe. No, this one is on the classic Spider-Man, McFarlane Spider-Man that everyone loved. That's the, you know, web flipping hand. So I feel like after getting those flipping hands with the webs out of them, you didn't really need these. And these kind of look like smaller and not like lower quality, but I don't know. I'm just not down. Yeah, open hands. You gotta have the open hands for the crouching. That's a need. For sure need. Mess with that. Those are dope. The Spider Sense web effect. I mean, web effect. The Spider Sense effect. Oh man, okay, yeah. I've been waiting for this for like a long time, just to put on like random people like Metal Gear. Oh, if we could get like, oh man, I would love a pack of those. If we could get just figs with expressive, you know, things like this, like an exclamation point or something like that. But this is hype. I like this. Very, very, very hype. Next up is the alternate head. This one having more of a, well, it's supposed to have like a kind of like crooked, like cockeyed look, but mine just seems to be like straight on, you know. But I like it. The paint's nice. Lines are good. Everything's clear. Nothing chipped. Very dope. Okay, here's my beef. Here's my first beef. What does this Peter Parker have? Why does Peter Parker here look like dude from American Psycho? I'm not playing with this. The hair is terrible. This is just not it. Like, I know what they're going for. Peter's like more slick back looks in the 90s, but like, this isn't it. You could have taken Mad Panels or something from, you know, Maximum Carnage, or even like the Clone Sagas, or, you know, and y'all came up with this. I'm not with that. Not at all. Just not at all down with that. Not this is in the bin. Never using that again. Next up are these hands. These massive hands. Okay, the idea, I see the idea and I mess with it, cool. But I would have liked one to be more of like a, actually no, that does work, but they're just too big. You know what I mean? Like, just super big. And I'm not with that. We're gonna get these onto him, but like, I'm just no. Don't see myself using these too often. At least not on him. Next up, web ball. Dope. This I don't like, because it took, like, y'all need a better indicator of where to put, because this took me like at least, I'm an old man, it took me like 20 minutes. I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating a bit, but it took me a long time to figure out where to put that. And no, that's not some like other kind of joke that you perverts are gonna think of, but yeah. Here's a web ball. Puts it on a stand. I'm honestly using this. Don't know. Do I have this the wrong way? No. I'm right. They're wrong. There it is. Don't know how much I'm using that. Same with this. Like, I get it, but I don't see me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, okay, whatever. Spider shield. Maybe like if it was bigger, like I'd like it, but this I'm just not. And then these damn clips that are just gonna break, man. Stop giving us this. Nobody wants this no more, man. Don't give me this. This is gonna, especially the last few shields, guys, man, have really just been like, it's a give or take, bro. Like I can't. I can't do that. Like, this is not it. These clips, you gotta get these clips out of here. Get me an actual like gripping thing. Y'all need to mess with magnets now for Captain America. But we're gonna get into that. This is, yeah, no. But I like the idea, because web shield, you're trying to do the moves. I get it. You're trying to do the moves from MVC2. So you have web shield, you have web ball. I get it. Maximum spider. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. But I can't give me this. Can't give me that, guys. But yeah, that's it for accessories. We're gonna go and now try to put these on Spidey, see what he looks like with them, switch it up a bit. You know what I mean? Bow. Alright, and here he is with the web shooter and bare hand accessories on, as well as that creepy Peter Parker head, which tilted down, he doesn't look so bad. And you know, when it's not looking directly at the camera, it doesn't look so bad. But I'm going to do a shot where he's looking dead ass at the camera, and you're going to see the creepiness that I'm talking about. I'm not with it. But yeah, I tried to put the this Peter Parker head on this body. Hey, let's see if it'll focus up. Yeah, I tried to throw that Parker head on there, but that did not fit, so I wasn't trying to force it and break my ish. Same with this head. This is not a Parker head, but this Parker head also did not work on the body. Well, yeah, that's what he is with those big ass hands. And I mean, yeah, as I said, I like the look. I like the look of him like prepping his web shooters and testing them out and that kind of thing. But it's not something that I'm necessarily gonna like keep on the fake. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of accessories that are like, yeah, it's cool to have, but like you don't really need it, right? I'm also gonna get like, you know, shot at this web ball here. Let's check that out. The web ball close up. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the alternate head and make that, see what that looks like on him as well as the other hands. We're gonna try out the other hands. So yeah, that's him with the open web shooter hands. We're gonna go ahead and put the alternate head sculpt on there. There he is with the alternate head sculpt, looking down, trying to make sure those shooters are right. You know what I'm saying? I like this head sculpt. It was a lot harder to get on than the original, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to mess with this for too long. The spider sense effect works on both, so he could kind of be like kind of looking at his web shooters and then getting like alerted and such, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what that looks like. There he is with the alternate, I'm gonna say that's the right hand whipping hand that comes with the effect on the end of it. That's with the alternate hand and the open-handed cartridge hand. So that looks kind of cool. Again, I'm gonna switch these around, see what's up. So there he has his two fists for punching people in the face. Obviously, you know, cool stuff like that. Here we have him with the left whipping hand that has the effect in it. It looks pretty cool from the side. Oh, yeah, that looks all right from the side there. That looks cool. And then we're gonna go ahead and put on the open hands on him. There he is with the set of the open hands on. It looks pretty cool to me. Well, you know, it's all right. And there he is with the alternate other whipping hands that don't have any effects on them. The left one I'm okay with and I'm a fan with. The right one I'm not so down because the fingers are curled and I'm just not too, I'm not too big on those. Here's what the Spidey effect looks like on the original head. Like that a lot. Looks really cool. It's going to be good for photos. That's like an effect I feel like they should have given to us a long time ago, but that's neither here nor there. Lastly, let's get into those gripping hands for those webs and things. There he is with the gripping hands to hold those webs for when they're, you know, showing swinging shots. And yeah, he gets a pretty decent range with these hands. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the last bit of accessories, and we're going to go into that articulation that everyone's been ranting and raving and hating each other and getting in all kinds of fights online about. Let's do that real quick once we get into that spider shield. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So gripping hands. And there he is with the web shield. What I like about this actual clip, even though the clip is still the same crappy clip, the forearms aren't thicker than the clip itself, so it actually fits on nicely without you risking of breaking it on the second use. So that was a good little, you know, addition that they gave us. But otherwise, yeah, it comes with some accessories, a lot of accessories. Some are useful, some aren't useful. Head sculpts are, you know, questionable sometimes. This thing, I'm never really using this, but you know, sure, why not? And then this to hang from, I don't know. Well, I don't know if I'm ever using that either. But so again, but yeah, cool accessories. Let's go ahead and get into that articulation. and then I'll end off with some comparisons and then go into my final thoughts. And yeah, that'll be the end of that. Let's go. So articulation wise, your boy, Maximum Spider-Man, obviously they lived up to his name and gave him maximum articulation. Some that I feel like was needed and fun, some that was like, you know, whatever, you just added it in there because people like it and I'm not a big fan. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. His head stands on a ball joint with a disc hinge, like a, you know, disc portion, but also on a neck joint that also has a ball joint in it. So they're taking some hints from G.I. Joe Classified here, but then not putting it on that just like ball rocker stiff peg thing that I hate so much. They actually put on a disc so that he gets that proper, you know, lean back. I'm saying, like, he can actually do that with no issue, and then straight down too, because of the additional neck movement. Many people have covered this, so I'm not getting too much into this. Arms go straight up like that, both sides. Very good. You can even, like, you know, T-posing, looking really great. I want to get into what's the best part about this is that the butterfly is actually butterfly. A few times, and I'll probably show you on another Spider-Man Renew Your Vows maybe, that the butterfly joints don't go back or forward enough, whereas here it does that very nicely. So you get that, and yeah, everything is flushy. Double jointed pinless elbows, and even with the wrist thingy, it's not so bad. You see that guy that goes in like so they're straight up on both sides. He has double jointed knees that curve in like that. Right, so he's looking good like that. His legs drop down so that you can get additional kicks up like that. I'll show you guys from the front what that looks like. You can get like very much. So that's needed for when he's doing his additional crouches or even just swing poses. So you just pull that down and shoot it back up. The other side, there you go. But then, oh, see, I don't want to break this thing. I definitely don't want to break one, just trying to show you all articulation. But yeah, he's stiff in the right places. So his abs is on like this rocker that gets you that kind of motion that side, and then the other kind of motion. So it's like a lot, big range. He can, you know, with this thing go back and forward, but then you get the additional, sorry, I don't want to push his crotch up, but then you get the additional drop right there. So it gives you like more of a bend. This guy is pretty movable. Now, you gotta have the boot cut, which I'm glad they have. They have the regular, you know, standard feet articulation on a rocker. But then it's this damn toe articulation that, like, yeah, it's cool. And he's got toes, fine. But then once that gets loose, and it always does, because I have a few figs, then it's just like, okay, now you just have a loosey toe articulation that's flapping all over the place. And now what are you gonna do with that? You know what I mean? But this guy, he's a dope boy, man. It's just the range you get in the neck, in the front. It's good enough for me that I really kind of like. Yeah, I mess with it. He looks hype. He looks super hype. Super hype. Like that's. You know, that's a Spider-Man. We have great Spider-Man, but this is a really good Spider-Man. And I'm like quite happy that I actually went ahead and purchased the boy here. But yeah. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into articulation. Comparison. Okay, so first comparison that I'm going to do, just to go ahead and get this out of the way. It's a current Spider-Man that I've been using for a lot of my photos, despite loving the another Spider-Man on this list. We have the Vulture 2-Spec Spider-Man that came with the animated Vulture, and I'm pretty sure this is like was supposed to be the definitive animated Spider-Man, despite them already putting out an animated Spider-Man. This head sculpt, that head sculpt is very much animated Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what these two look like next to each other. Two different artist styles, two very, you know, very different looking Spider-Man. This guy's winning a lot just because of his, like, the way he looks next to other guys. He's looking really good. Like, I'm kind of like, wow, why didn't I open this sooner? Yeah, so that guy's the maximum Spidey's winning right now. Yeah, Sunfire body, nice, taller. I see what they wanted to do here, but they made the shoulders and like that, they made everything more flush, so I like that. And yeah, but otherwise the blue is nice, the head sculpt's nice. Now, my current badass winner up until this guy showed up was the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends 3-pack Spider-Man, which is also the same as the first appearance Spider-Man that came out not too long ago, but this one just had like more of a Spidey blue to it. And yeah, I've been using this on my Avengers shelf upstairs. Good portions of this. Same ab, you know, same torso articulation here, except for this torso is way more defined and better, and you know, but they got everything flush here. I believe these butterfly joints go in, yes, just like the other ones, because some of them don't. But these don't go as back. These don't bend back like this one, so there's that. But this one has like the smoother texturing. These have like the lines to stretches for the costume stretching and all that. On the back, you have the regular Spider-Man sign on the back here, which I didn't get into what the back looked like, but the back here, you have the Spidey sign with the line at the butterfly wing, so if it does expand, you see the line expand. Here, they kept it very, very cartoony, kept it to the point, very much, you know, so yeah. And you can even see the difference in the way the torso curves up here, and where it bends and kind of does like a more over here. So that's cool. That's cool. This guy's still winning. This was my favorite Spider-Man. This is now like second best. But over here, like, I don't even know why we have this now. So it's like this Renew Your Vows Spidey, cute, and where the whole Tor articulation thing came into play in the first place. This guy is not holding up compared to him. He's just not. Like, not in my opinion. I just like this a lot better. And again, I'm being brutally honest. So the things that I shadowed on them, you know, but I gotta give it points where they're due. And this Spider-Man, compared to what was supposed to be the best Spider-Man after the one I just showed, this is killing it. I was not a big fan of the Renew Your Vows Spidey once I got him in hand, and I kind of just like stuck him on the shelf next to the Mary Jane figure, and he was just gonna be like an older Spider-Man. But like now looking at it, like the head sculpt I don't really love, you know, and then over here it's just like, yeah, they got some things right over here that they, you know, course corrected and got better. This does have the same articulation in terms of the legs. Let's see if it drops down. I don't remember if it does, and if it did, it was like a lot harder to get those to drop down. Yeah, that's not dropping down like that. And same thing with the butterflies. The butterflies, they go in on him, but then they didn't go back like at all, or they did, but it was just like super trash. So it's like you couldn't even get really much range, whereas these go like, look how far back that goes compared to the way his went. All to say, these two, yeah, you got your clear winner here. Renew Your Vows Spidey, you're gonna go back on my shelf and be among Mary Jane like you were, but yeah, I didn't think it would be such a clear difference between the two. I saw a lot of comparisons earlier before people got their hands on this guy, and they were like, oh no, it's the same thing, you know, Renew Your Vows can do the same bendy thing, but no, it's night and day. To me, at least, it's night and day, and I'm with Maximum Spidey. Again, very happy that I opened this. Super great figure out the gate, and the things it comes with. Does this work on him? No, it feels like you will bust your figure. Yeah, it's definitely made to only fit this guy, which he's kind of like, who is this guy? He's like looking at him like, dog, who are you, bro? What are you doing? What are you doing, dog? That's what you're looking at him like, but yeah. That's cool. All right. And then let's go and compare it to some like other figs, X-Men, villains, you know, just throw them in there, see what they look like real quick before I get into my final thoughts. Okay, first up, we're going to go up against a once was a Build-A-Figure, but the retro-carded Rhino. Let's just zoom out and see what these guys look like next to each other, which is pretty cool. These guys, like, he's going to look good against villains and stuff, like standing out to them and like talking shit. It's gonna look really, really, really good. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's what he looks like next to the Rhino, looking pretty good. These two look awesome next to each other. Let's throw him up against a Vulture. Let's throw him up against the animated series Vulture. These two look cool. They don't really match up, but they look cool. So that's a thing. Alright. Let's throw him up against, as I mentioned, Peter Parker. Let's throw him up against the animated series. If I can get his head back on. There you go. An animated series, Peter Parker. Whose leg is just calling him to fall, but yes. Good. Looks good. Looks good. For whatever reason, the Sentry that I just don't like this figure at all. I'm not a big fan of the Sentry. He's super like shit. I don't like the yellow that they chose. I don't like the body that they chose. It's like, it's just trash. We're gonna get a maximum Sentry for sure. Gotta do Venom. You gotta do Venom. Like the Venom is a thing. Like you gotta compare him to the Venom. And this is not the Walmart joint. I have the Walmart joint. I just didn't want to bring them down for this. But this is the 3-pack Venom, the Amazon exclusive 3-pack Venom with a Eddie Brock head from the, I'm gonna say, what Build-A-Figure was that? Monster Deadpool wave? I don't think it was Monster Deadpool, but it was a Venom wave. So there was a Build-A-Figure involved. But either way, that's the head sculpt from which that Venom Eddie Brock is from. And these two on some Maximum Carnage-ish look super, super dope next to each other. This is cool. This might be like, yeah, if I do a Maximum Carnage lineup, this might be it. Or him with the blue Venom, and then, yeah. Yeah, looking dope. Gotta put your boy Wade in there. Wade and Spidey looking like a team up that needs to happen for sure. I love it. Very, very dope. Very, 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 very dope. Yeah, you gotta have Wade in there. You just gotta have it. You know what I mean? It looks cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. Very, 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 very cool. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and put them against my favorite, my guy, Daredevil. These two next to each other. Yeah. I still wish that red popped. Why couldn't Daredevil have that red? You know what I mean? When they put out this Daredevil again, because you know they will, I need to see this kind of cherry red, the one that Spidey has on him. That's what I need, and I need it to pop. Like, not just like, you know, almost like Deadpool red, but I need it to pop on Daredevil. We are coming up to, you gotta have a Wolverine comparison. If you're gonna do these things, you can't just leave out Wolverine. So in fact, I'm gonna go and do, this is a Secret Wars Wolverine, and then I have the 3-pack, like Love Triangle 3-pack as they called it, Wolverine, with a different head sculpt on there, and both look really good next to our boy here. Okay. And then lastly, actually not lastly, but close to lastly, we're gonna put up my boy Frank Castle, because I just love this Frank, and I need to get a second one. But this Frank is amazing. I love him so much. So he's like up there with like the ones that I pulled out to compare to Spider-Man. These are my current favorite figures in my collection, like minus the Venom, because he's dope too, but not one of my favorites. Yeah, this Punisher, this Spider-Man, these guys look like they could do damage together for sure. Love it. Okay, now this is my last. You got Norman Osborn on that old Professor X body, but I guess that's what Norman would look like next to Spidey. One of Spidey's like greatest foes, not suited up as a Green Goblin, but you know what I mean? You get the idea. And he can't seem to stand because that Professor X body is super frail. But there you go. That's what these two look like next to each other. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into my final thoughts on this fig. But I was, letting y'all know from the jump where I was leaning towards. So I think you guys have an idea. All to say, let's go ahead and get into that. Cheer. Okay, last comparison of anything is him against obviously one of his bigger foes other than Norman is Green Goblin. Sorry. Wow. Doc Octopus. I'm tired, guys. Sorry, it's pretty late. Doc Ock, and this is animated series Doc Ock. I still do really think that we do really think that we do need a comic book accurate Doc Ock, another one, but something more akin to the white suit Sinister Six. Like, yeah, I want like the gritty Doc Ock. This one is cool. The one we got a couple forever waves ago, I think it was the SBDR Build a Figure Wave Doc Ock. That one was cool. That came out all the way in like 2017 or 2018. So I'm thinking that we need an upgrade, and I would like, yes, very much, lab coat, white suited Doc Ock, gritty tentacles, like bendy wire, but make them things look super gritty. Yeah, and that's what these guys look like next to each other. Looks pretty cool, but I think we need more villains and characters from this era Spider-Man. Sorry, like, McFarlane type, to kind of get things going. We still need a few characters to round out the villains from Maximum Carnage, or we just need one. And we need 90s Firestar, so I'm gonna need that soon. But yeah, that's what these guys look like together. And finally, let's get into comparisons. Sorry. Oh my gosh, not even comparisons. Final thoughts. Wow. Super tired. So tired. So tired. Okay, so final thoughts on this fig. Yeah, this guy's fire. Like, the fig is dope. 9 on 10. 9 on 10. He loses points for... No, sorry. Okay, let me reel it back. 8 on 10. He loses points for some accessories that I deem to be useless, and I'm not even useless, but that I'm never going to really use. And then for that Peter Parker head sculpt, and for those hands being too big, that's where he loses his points. But otherwise, the fig itself, super fire. For the price point, not, whatever. I would have taken just the fig itself, giving me a couple hands that, we didn't need 2 sets of flipping hands, right? That shit was like overdone. We didn't need the web shield at all. We didn't need the web ball. We didn't need that other thing, but they were just trying to fill space. Fine. I get it. Cool. But yeah, the fig itself, that's a near perfection. I dropped something. That's okay. Damn near perfection. And this is not some chill shit. Like, I legit really like this Spider-Man. I had other favorite Spider-Man, and this one is now taking the cake just because of like how he looks neutral. Just neutral. He looks super dope. And yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. So if you guys like this review, please go ahead and give it a like and share it with your friends and tell them about it, because I'm out here doing this review and other reviews, and I got Maximum Hulk coming up soon. So, I'm out here just doing these brutally honest reviews on things that, and talking about things that, like normally I wouldn't comment too much on, but yeah. But for these Maximum series, I'm going to be really honest with you. And I'd like you guys to come back and check out my other things, because I got mad reviews, mad other shorts, bunch of things dropping every week, because, I'm trying to, get this little channel up and move some things. You know what I mean? Not move them things, but move some souls with my reviews and make people smile and laugh a little bit. Because when I get tired, I jumble words and I say things. So you might catch me saying some crazy stuff if you catch one of these late reviews. All to say, please share with your friends and tell them about me. Follow me on IG. Follow me on Twitter. I'm also on Blue Sky. Everything's ActionFiggySkinny. That's Action, Figgy, Skinny, SKI, Yeah, that's what it is. All to say. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep fit, have fun, keep collecting. Peace.